Welcome to week 1 of EDU630. During this course, you will complete writing assignments, 3 pieces to the final project, weekly discussion questions, and weekly quizzes. Your textbook is Visible Learning for Teachers, Maximizing Impact for Learning. It's a great text. Remember, it is necessary for you to post to either a discussion board or submit an assignment during the week to be counted present, and that means by 11:59 Saturday night. If you wait and don't submit anything until Sunday or Monday, you will be counted absent, even though the assignments will be accepted tardy, okay? And then after 11:59 Monday night, no assignments are accepted. Now, if you have some life experience that happens, please let me know. We might can work with you. But due dates are important, and it's helpful for you to not get behind because it's hard to get caught back up. APA is important. We have a quick guide that you can utilize for that. Your writing assignments will need that. So be sure your writing assignments are APA compliant. They have a title page that they include appropriate citations and references. Your discussion questions, your initial post at least, needs to be posted by 11:59 Saturday night. It needs to be 250 to 300 words. And then your response to a classmate should be submitted by 11:59 Saturday night, and it should be 100 words or more. Your weekly quizzes are only accessible until 11:59 Saturday night. After that, they are no longer accessible, so be sure you get those taken in time. Here is a little bit about your final project pieces. We'll talk about those as we go. This week in Unit 1, you're going to read chapters 1 and 2 in the Hattie text. You're also going to read Mark chapter 10, verses 24 through 25. Go ahead and look over the course module, which is what I'm looking at now. It's on the initial page in Canvas. Go ahead and explore the online library as well. Then you want to view your lectures. Be sure to take notes. You may also want to take notes while you read your textbook. And then you're going to complete your unit quiz. You have 2 discussion questions this week. The first one asks, what is most important? Actually, it asks, what is most important is that teaching is visible to the student and the learning is visible to the teacher. The more the student becomes the teacher and the more the teacher becomes the learner, then the more successful are the outcomes. Discuss the implications of this statement from the textbook in relation to your current teaching practices and beliefs. So this is a statement you will have read in your textbook, and you're going to respond to it and connect it to your practices and beliefs. Then for discussion question number 2, explain what Hattie means by visible learning and teaching. Also, tell in what ways your teaching is visible to your students, and in what ways are you able to make student learning visible. Then discuss some ways you can make your teaching more visible to your students. For your writing assignment, you're going to complete the exercise outlined at the end of Chapter 2 in your textbook using the 3-column chart below. Identify what you think research ranks as low, medium, and high, and write the name of each program or variable in one of the columns. So there's a list. Look back at Chapter 2 and rate it in these columns, okay? Then you're going to go to Appendix D and check your answers compared to what research says, okay? So you're going to respond after you've looked at the research and how it's rated and compared it to what you rated. You're going to look at your ahas, some things that you agreed with or learned, and your oh no's, which were concerns or questions, and then you're going to submit your completed chart at the start of your paper with your reflection to follow the chart, okay? Now, here are some reminders about upcoming assignments. Don't panic. Some of them will require work with students. We know that school doesn't start until August, so some modifications have been made. For week 2, you are going to need to locate a group of 10 to 15 students, maybe a Sunday school class, to complete I think something like a survey. We'll talk about that early next week. You can go ahead and look at that as well. But you will need access to someone, a small group of students, for that. In week 3, you're going to ask a coworker or a classmate to look at an assignment that you're working on. Then in week 4, you're going to develop and administer a pretest, except you don't have your class yet, so there's some variations there as well. For this week's assignment, you're going to develop your pretest and submit it instead of actually administering it. And then you need to plan on teaching the topic. I think you're choosing a topic that you're going to teach in the early weeks of school, the first 3 weeks of school, and you're going to teach it in week 6 or 7 when you get back to school. And of course your grade, even though it's at the end of week 5, I think we're going to leave it open, and so I won't grade it until you post that piece. So your assignment for week 5, even though it may not be submitted until week 6 or 7, is to teach a one-day metacognitive lesson. And then for week 6, you're going to monitor the effectiveness of your feedback to your students. Again, this one may be posted a little bit later. During week 6 and 7, you're going to administer a pre-test and a post-test to your students as part of the unit that you're going to design. So you're looking at teaching something for a week, I think. So look over this. We'll talk about each of them as time gets closer. So the lectures will keep you up to date and remind you as we go what you need to be working on. But there is some variation and flexibility according to when you start back to school, okay? So we will work on those, but make yourself familiar with them, and we'll talk soon. Have a great week.